Hello YouTube, DarkMaven1976 here with another video. In this video, I will be going over sewing and how to get started with sewing if you want to learn. I never thought I would want to learn to sew, but it's been very helpful with cosplay, especially if a cosplay comes broken and I can fix it. Like I did with the Princess Serenity cosplay. It became broken, and that's what started me to want to learn how to sew. I'm learning from my friend Karen, who works at Joann's, and she's very nice. And I do recommend, for if you're wanting to start to learn how to sew, to find a friend who can sew and ask her to teach you, him or her. Don't matter. Sewing can be a big part of your cosplay, because some cosplays that you buy online aren't that great. I learned that the hard way, and actually finishing a cosplay yourself gives you a big feeling of accomplishment. I mean, I've done so many projects with my friend, and every project I've done made me feel, I did it. So let me talk about what you'll need. You'll probably need a sewing machine. More expensive is probably better, but mine was like $72 on Craigslist. Probably mentioned that before. I prefer the more simpler sewing machines, because if something goes wrong with it, you can fix it. The more complicated the sewing machine, the more stuff that can break, and you won't be able to fix it. Always read your manual that comes with the sewing machine. I've had to fix some problems with it and found out how to fix it just by reading the manual. My machine comes with lots of stitches, which I will probably never use, as you can see. Most machines come with a lot of stitches, or stitching, and mine comes with the normal stitch and the buttonhole stitch and the zigzag stitch, and I have no idea what the other stuff does, because I probably won't use it. All machines come with a forward and back button, which will help lock the stitch in when you start. This is like tying a knot in it when you learn how to hand sew. Also, hand sewing may be important too, in case you want to sew like beads on something, or more fancier ornaments that your machine can't handle. I had to hand sew all of these circles. I've probably mentioned this before, on the Princess Serenity dress by hand. And what is this? I'm sorry. By hand, and the problem with that was my hand started to cramp up after a while, and my lighting in my apartment was crap, so I would only be able to do it for a couple of hours a day, especially in the winter time. Because the sun would go down and I wouldn't be able to see. So hand sewing is also important. Once you get your machine, I would suggest buying scrap fabric and thread, and just going for it. What I mean by going for it is practice straight lines first. That's how I started out. I still practice straight lines every day, and circles, because my circles kind of bomb. So my circles and curves kind of suck. So practicing is important. What you'll probably need for that also is a good pair of scissors. Fabric cutting scissors you get at fabric stores, Walmart. Only use them for fabric. We'll say this again. Only use your fabric cutting scissors for fabric. and maybe threads, because they will get dull and will not like to cut fabric, and your fabric will look all choppy and not pretty. So fabric cutting scissors are only for fabric. Can't say scissors today. Also, scrap fabric, thread. Now, I'm going to say this, cheaper doesn't mean better for thread. Cheaper threads will crap out on you. They will. They will gum up your machine faster than you can say cheesecake. I had this problem with one of the spools of thread I had. I got it for free, so it was no big loss, but it kept breaking and it kept gumming up in the machine. It kept getting tangled with my bobbins and stuff like that. But I also suggest is to buy extra bobbins. This is what a bobbin looks like. Yay, it's a cute little bobbin. Bobbins are for the understitching. You have the top stitch and the bottom stitch, which is the bobbins. That's what the bobbins are for. Each machine does thread differently, so I'm not going to show you how to thread a machine. Read your instructions. It'll help. My machine is actually a Viking, which is one of the more expensive machines, but I got it fairly cheap. So, once you got your straight stitching down and curves, maybe, find some simple projects. Like my first project was, I believe it was a pillowcase. Actually, it was this pillowcase. Let me show you. It's skulls. I love skulls. Yeah, so my first project was a pillowcase. It's simple, it's just straight lines all the way, so yeah. My second project, I believe, was a pair of pants. It was a pair of sleeve shorts, which I don't have out, so I can't show you. That was fun. Then I graduated to more complicated ones, like aprons. I chose the more complicated apron, I think, she said. And I think it turned out well. It's got sushi fabric. And I also made a bag. My latest project was a bag with Doctor Who on it, with a little wristlet. My favorite one. And one of my favorite projects was this lovely stuffed ninja. It's cute. He's kind of square because I didn't know how to box the corners. I didn't understand how to box the corners, so he's kind of square. I haven't really named him. I thought about calling him Garu from Puka, but I don't know. If you have any ideas for names, feel free to leave them in the comments below. He's so plushy. So sewing isn't really that complicated. It's just you have to get over the fear of sewing and the fear that you're gonna sew your fingers into the project, which is what I was afraid of at first. I did take home ec when I was in middle school, but I didn't pay attention to the sewing portion of it because I thought I never would need sewing. I was wrong. Yes, teacher, I was wrong. And if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. You'll also probably need a maintenance kit for your sewing machine because parts do break off or come. Mine came apart and I had to fix it myself, which I did panic. I did panic, but I read the instructions and found out that bit does come off and put back on. Maintenance kit probably consists of brushes, oil, whatnot. In my town, there's a place called Viking Sew and Back, which sells vacuum cleaners and sewing machines, and the guy there will do maintenance on the sewing machine to keep it up and running and nice and smooth. And so that's the thing you probably need. You can get those at the fabric store as well. Also, if you have a Joann's in your area, they may offer sewing lessons if you're interested for a small fee. Mine does not, but I know Viking Sewing Back does. I did not take them. I did not pay for the lessons because at Viking, because my friends teach me how. And I'm hoping to graduate to actual cosplay. I believe the next project I will be doing is the sock dress from Sachiko from Corpse Party. Yeah, I plan on doing that for Halloween. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, leave them in the comments below. If you have any cosplays you want to suggest, feel free. I'll have my email address down below as well as my DeviantArt. I was going to go do a photo shoot today, but it actually rained for once. And yeah, amazing. Actually rained for once this summer, which was kind of sad, but oh well. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and until next time, my cosplay friends, cosplay safe. Bye!